All right. So here's MS Paint. All right. So how do you think you would do this? Kind of have it
Oh, me.
ordered, and I
Oh,
mean, I think you and Joe are the two that don't have one yet. So on Mike too, he wishes to join.
I can give input, but
Yeah, dude.
I'll
Yeah,
let.
this shouldn't take too long. What are you thinking? Obviously, I think you'd agree Barbados is an S tier, right?
Barb is the S tier. He does everything.
Yeah.
See, Barb, Unicorn,
An S tier.
second melee.
Okay.
You're just
They're,
like going down the list, I guess. Oh, from tiered. Yeah, no, I'd put Unicorn in A. No, he's an S. He's an
okay.
S. He does everything.
Understandable. Clearly the best
Uh,
support.
and then I'm gonna put Marasai also in S.
Lee boy. Winky,
I'm gonna,
winky.
I'm gonna cap yeses off right there.
All right. Don't forget about whatever this thing is right here.
What is that?
I don't know. Somehow when I like was clipping the things, I cut something off and then it got giant. So I
Oh,
labeled it.
that's cool. Um,
Grab Reggie and pull him up.
Down, you're a madman. Well, Harper needs a diaper change, so I'm gonna go do that. Nick, I agree with 100% yours. I would just put Marsai down one, and I'd switch Ashimir and Sniper.
Right. Put that all in. All right. So now what does?
A tier. I would put Zavi, Methus, and Pale Rider.
Okay. Whoop. There he is. Whoop. So Sazabi Method Pale Rider, you said, right?
Yeah, and Melee Zaku.
Oh, yes. So, yeah.
Forgot about him.
Ante. And we can just, like, when we have the stragglers, we can just throw them in there later, so don't worry if you miss something.
Yeah.
Saku. Here, I'm going to up for you. This. We still got Reggie Gundam, Sniper, Maharu, Range Saku, Dom, Swag Tank, Turn A, Exia, GM, Ass Hammer.
I think I'd put Range Zaku. I don't know. I'm struggling to put him into A or B because he's really good, but I don't feel like he's not like getting all the headshots. You can't even aim with his gun. You know what I mean? He's
You
just like
lit.
get in, get out. He's more
Agreed.
of a tool.
I don't even think you can really kill an entire team with him. Is the
Yeah.
thing that holds him back. Is you can pick people one at a time, but similar to Marasai, he's got the one at a time syndrome.
Yeah, throw him in B.
From and B. Okay, top
Yeah.
of B here.
Swag Tank gets A because sometimes Gun Tank is just what you need.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't want to like push the envelope too much. You want to just stay consistent.
Yeah. See, Sniper is a weird one because like out in the wild, snipers don't exist. Like they're not good. I don't trust them. But
Fair
like when
enough.
it's David using it or Donnie using it, I'm like, that's like an A tier character. If they're picking people off, getting 4 to 5 headshots at a time, that's that literally fractions of their team. That's gonna slow them down immensely.
Oh
Even
yeah.
if we're attacking and they're on if they're on the plant, get a string sight. That's one shot. That's not a what I mean. I guess it comes down to that. I'll put him in A.
Okay. All right.
No, put him in B.
Oh,
It's too circumstantial.
gotcha. Especially because the levels really impact him too.
Yeah.
All right. So we got Turn A, Dom, Maharu, Reggie, Exia.
GM needs to go and I think he needs to go and see. GM, I like GM a lot, but I just don't see his play like as much. There's so many people that can stun and take away his shield, the main part of him, and then
800
he's just
health.
let there with the sidearm like Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
But he does have good utility though. He's got the healing. He's got the his little C4 pack thing. That's pretty dope. But it just not. It's too neutral. It's not. I don't know. Can't use it for anything besides that.
Yep. Um, yeah, I'd agree. And then like even the double det pack strat is like circumstantial, and when they remove your
Yeah.
shield, like you can't even use your one ability. I think GM's the
Exactly.
worst character in the game. I agree.
Um.
I think it's still viable, but
Oh yeah, you could definitely use him. It's just like end game. He's not. He's
it-
not on my like top tier. He's not on my like. These Gundams are gonna be on my team
yeah.
where I want them to be there.
I just realized I'm probably put him behind the camera.
Let's think about Exia now. Exia. Great, good, but like not always great, not always good. Super squishy. If the person's hitting all those knives, it's great. But like chances of them getting 3 headshots with that thing, I find it pretty tough. But I know there are people out there that have the skills to pay those metaphorical bills.
Truth.
I'd put him in B. Still got really good stun, really good ult, really good movement. Gets get around people.
Mm-hmm.
Maharu is going to be B for me. But it's a tough one because it could also be an A tier character. I don't know the angles. I don't know all the tech. I've played him only a little bit, but I'd put him in B.
Very level circumstantial, and I would say I think he gets wrecked by the sniper. I think his head is just too big. All
That's
right.
true. It's
So
um
Reggie, Turne, Dom, and Asshammer.
S man.
We're
I don't really like. I like Asimir. I'm gonna throw him in probably C. He's got utility, but I don't see people getting games with him. I mean, like
mm-hmm.
the objective fights, sure, but like I don't know, just you can only like run away for so long with a character like that. You know,
Yeah, being able to one on
you
one is
can't aim, you
important.
can't zoom in with a pulse rifle. Like, what is that?
Yeah, true. All right, so we got Reggie, Turne, and Dom.
Dom goes in A. Dom's really good if you get it. If you get it, so annoying to
Yeah,
face, just floating on ice.
yeah,
I think he's
dude.
in A. Turner's a Turner's a good like dueling character. You get those headshots with his charge thing, it's great. You get it. He's got healing. And put him in B. He's not a C, not an A though.
Okay, last
And then
off,
Reggie.
Reginald.
I've been waiting for Reggie. I don't know. That's where
I
I'm kind of
know.
stuck because he's not an S tier character. He's great, but I think he's lacking. He's definitely lacking something. His shield's great. There's no shield bash. He's got a sword on his back he can't use. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
that could
C
have been
tier
a
for
cool
sure.
melee.
I'm kidding.
No,
All
I
right, I'm
think
back.
he's an A tier character.
Okay.
You get enough headshots with him. You take away people's shields. You still have 2 dashes and like what 1,000 to 1,200 health. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. All right. So just a frame of reference. Also, what characters would you say are your mains?
Me,
Rough rep. Yeah.
uh, Zeku melee, Zeku melee, Zeku melee. um, After that, I've been known to mess around with some RSI as well as
Voice.
I've been liking Methus a lot. Methus is super fun.
Dude, that little flight trick you did, that was so fun to watch. Okay. So then this tier list right here, it's S tier Barbados Unicorn Marasai, A tier Sazabi, Methus, Pale Rider, Melee Zaku, Swag Tank, of course, Dom, Reggie. Then Range Zaku in B tier, Sniper, Exia, Maharu, Turne, and down the lowly C tier is GM and Asshammer. Um, does that sound good to you? Still
Yeah,
tracks? All
that's
right.
that's that's fine.
File save the Osborne tier.
Everybody's like, what?
No, I agree with like most of it. I think it'd be easier if we just kind of moved into the next person now, though, because then we can like just discuss at the end instead of just
That's
like
fair.
picking apart, on the spot. I don't like turn into arguments almost. But all
Yeah,
right,
no, you're good.
that one's saved. Opening the next one. So, oh, it followed me. Cool. You guys see a new Gundam template now?
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, so Mike or Joe, do you either of you want to do one? You could like shorthand it too, like just say Barbados
Yeah, I can
Mars.
do it.
Okay, cool.
Here, put Barb and Marsai on S.
All right. And if you want to like talk about why, I'd really appreciate it. It'll one buy me time, and two, I kind of like what the video is more so about.
We're probably gonna talk about Barb enough.
You're right. We don't. Yeah, those are straightforward.
Marasai has got the grab, and that kind of just makes it for me.
Yep.
If you have a good enough Marasai, he's constantly grabbing, and it's really annoying.
Yep.
I feel like you get the grab really quick. I don't know the cooldown on it, but it seems like
11 seconds, I do believe.
I was literally about to
Gravel.
say, Donnie, do you know? Because I knew you'd know.
I do believe it's either 9 or 11. I think it's 11 though.
we get the ballpark around 10ish.
I can go check right now.
Go for it. Yeah.
Just got 9/11 on the brain.
Oh
Never
no.
forget.
Never forget.
classic.
All right, sorry. Hold on. I'm moving some stuff for my own ease. Apologize. Oop. All right. Okay. So now what, Joe?
I've actually put Maharu in it. I feel like.
An S.
Just because of the way those girls travel, they can go around corners and shit. No, that's S. S is just those two. I'm
Okay,
going
okay,
in now.
okay. Oh, my bad. Apologize. Very sorry, Grubson. Oh, sorry. Real quick. What characters do you play? Let's do this beforehand. It's probably smarter.
Oh, just about to get Dom. I've played some Barbados too.
Yeah, so gun tank.
10 seconds.
10 seconds, dude. Spot on.
I plan 11, honestly. That's what it is.
Yeah. All right. So we got
Right, I would put Unicorn in A. I would put Zeku Melee in A. I feel like I haven't played Pale Rider at all, but I think I'd put him in A. Sazabi I'd put in A.
give us some reasoning on these characters.
Oh, Melee Zeku is just, I think, just even if he's not as good as Barb, it's just really good having a melee guy. His ult really just can kill pretty much a lot of people.
I actually think he's not as impressive as we thought he was initially. He fucks with shield people, though, so automatically puts him in. He's a niche. That's my opinion about
Yeah.
Miyazawa.
My take has always been the way his rage works when he's invulnerable. If you shoot him when he's in invulnerable stance, it builds his rage, which makes him tankier, and that's what makes him unkillable. So honestly, the more people you have in comms, the less of an issue he is. If you have all 6 in comms, he's deal withable for sure. But when you have that one guy that doesn't realize what's happening and he's like unloading rockets around the corner into his invul, it just ruins the whole plan.
Yeah.
Stealth god from like other
well, that's-
MOBAs like Loki or
Yeah, I don't agree with that though. Most of your rage you're getting from just getting hits in. That is a nice icing on the
True.
cake, but like a lot of the times, like I don't know, from what I play, I'm just like throwing my long range axe and it's just hitting multiple people, filling that gauge up. and
500 HP. You get 2 shot by Mars.
Yeah.
Gun.
No, for sure. You can literally hit like 4 people with one axe swing, so I get it. I just think that I definitely notice the times when he goes invulnerable, and then you just watch a unicorn unload on his head, and it's like, dude, you just charged his entire rage
Oh, yeah.
meter. Like, you know, like.
I think it's 5 unicorn headshots.
Yeah, so it's pretty intense. But yeah, sorry, go on, Joe. Or Grub, rather.
Sazabi, I'd say, definitely deserves to be in there just because he's such a unit. Like, that fucking shield. Like, I don't know, he just commands respect.
Yeah, no, I like that term. He's a unit. It's exactly. Oh God, here's Sazabi, just tonk in like.
You could just really like you could take so much as long as even if you were blind, if you just leave your shield up, it's really valuable to have that much aggro for that long.
Sure.
He's
Not have to care about it.
And then Unicorn's just the best support in the game. Shields and heals. That's
Cool.
why do you have both?
I don't know if I'm done with A tier yet or not. I put Swag Tank in B.
Okay.
I put Dom in A.
Domine.
The thing about Dom is that like you have to hit those rockets, and then he's really good.
Yep.
It's really hard to hit those though, or at least I think it is.
Oh, something.
So like I don't think I'm A is, but I think he's A tier.
No, for sure. I mean, your Dom's pretty fire. I'd put your Dom in A tier for sure. So I disagree with that. You're undersell. But with Dom, also I was testing earlier. His highest DPS as far as like a short burst. If you do the laser beam, you can also drop mines at the same time. So what you could do is you go laser beam, mine, and then it ends. Both of them synchronized, and you shoot one rocket, and then that's your highest DPS, and that is fucking fast. Sorry, YouTube. I'll have to bleep that. but it is fast. Like, so that like John was talking about this before. His one-on-one capability with that combo is insane. Like,
Yeah, I wish I want to get better with him because I know his capability is really good.
yeah.
Put sniper in A.
All
I
right.
forgot one.
Dude, one-shot headshots.
Yeah, I mean I can't do it at all, but I don't know.
It always impresses me when Alex is popping off a sniper on controller. I gotta
Yes,
say.
there's enough people. No, I meant an A.
Oh,
Sniper
sorry.
A. Not
No, actually, no. I'm just a little stoner rascal.
go
Ah,
back and to.
for some reason I thought that was it.
Okay, so I agree with
Tony Rigatoni.
Ass Hammer being the last one. Like you want him to be good because he can fly and he's good in that one map, but like he just lacks in every way other than being able to fly.
Dude, people don't understand that you just focus. Like, I think he's B tier because you need a team comp around him. But if a team comp can allow him to just stand there and chuck grenades on a bunch of people, Ashman's really good. I've seen like
Oh, God, he's
90K
flying.
Ashmere. Not even necessarily when he's flying, just anywhere, just grenades. Your focus is grenades, not your gun. People, I don't think people realize that. You
Yeah, I
didn't
could
use your tier list, though. I was just talking.
So yeah, I could see it. I think people are right, early guys. I mean, are right to put GM in last too. GM's not that good. I remember trying him out in practice mode and talking to Nick and being like, "This
Yeah.
guy just doesn't do anything better than other people can do his same shit."
He really is a jag. Your GM unit is a jag unit. Like, it's just a unit. Like, you can, like, it has its perks, it has its downfalls. The real one that always gets me with him is 800 health is not okay. Like, you're a shield character. Your whole idea is to get up in there. And then Reggie hits you with the fucking flail thing. Dang it, I swore again.
You know what his shield health is?
Shield health, I think it's
I can check it.
1400. Yeah, I appreciate it.
He just seems like tutorial bot.
1300. So effectively, though, that's still a solid chunk of health. But when you got a ton of stuns floating around,
Reggie just knocks your shield down and then you get one shot. It's, like,
yeah,
awful.
exactly.
Like,
yeah.
or we run into
Barb
melee
stun dead.
Zaku and it's like he just swings 3 times through your shield and you're dead. Like,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, dude, that does suck. But that's why melee Zaku is like A tier. He just kills shields.
He would be S tier if Marasai didn't like really deal with him properly.
Yeah.
That's my take on that. All right. So moving on.
I think range Zaku's B. I kind of want to put him in A, but I don't know. The thing that I feel like limits him is his clip isn't as long. So like even if you do manage to go behind someone, if you run out of ammo, a lot of these people are gonna have time to kill you anyway. That is if you wasted your invisibility. That is.
His stash.
What did you say?
Okay. One thing I will say is in the GM vein, GM deals really well with range Zaku. That is one of the places it shines is range Zaku. He can push him around, but he can't do anything about the shield, and it's just so easy to turn and follow him. The range Zaku literally has to deal all 2100 damage, the 800 of your health, and the 1300 of your shield. So it's just you can usually just like push him away. But range Zaku's whole thing, in my opinion, is that he just doesn't die. You just can't kill that guy. He just gets away and he gets away and he gets away. Like, it's just from there, that's a value to me.
Yeah, that is true. He has people distracted for so long.
Yep.
Even if he's not really fighting them, he's just running away. I feel like I don't know a lot about Axiom and Pale Rider. Pale Rider's healing is really good, so I want to put him in A just for that, basically. I don't know exactly how good his gun is, though. But even if it was trash, and that's the thing, everyone says it's good. Even if it was trash, though, he still has that really good heal.
Yep.
Not to change up, did you guys know exactly range had fall off on his damage rate? Like as he gets farther away, he does less damage with the
Oh,
snow.
yeah, all of them do. Well, not literally all of them. Exio
Not-
doesn't,
yeah.
but
Okay. I didn't realize he did specifically.
yeah, GM too. Marsai also. Actually, no, I don't think Gun Tank does. That's a fair point. There's a few
No,
that
I don't think gun tape is either.
Yeah, Rockets don't either. You're right. There's a mix there, but a lot of them do, I should say.
Unicorn doesn't. It's weird. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Shooting crystals, man. Uses
Oh,
lobbing
turn
crystals
B.
at him.
Right.
I think
Okay.
turn A is B.
B, you say? Okay.
Mm. Something I feel like if they tweak some kind of specific things with this throw, he could really go up.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I don't know.
All right, so we got Reggie, Exia, and Methis left, and that thing that appeared for some reason.
Holy.
I'd put the thing in B.
Okay.
Can't throw, can you? And that
Here.
makes sense. I haven't played him though, so I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, I warped him again. Now he's bigger. He's in B tier now, though.
Put that right there. Good.
All right. We got
Enhance
Exia.
image.
Everyone, zoom in. Hold on. Oh, I missed. All right. We got Exia, Reggie, and Methis.
Just don't know shit about Exia.
You want me to explain?
Oh yeah, I'm about to look at his character in the game.
Oh,
Yeah, I
good
got
call.
it. The swords, yeah. It's hard to say because I don't know. I've never had like a one with Exia, so I can't really say how good the damage is on shit.
Exia is just super safe, kind of frontliner. But
Exia, I
Just-
think his main place he thrives is when you guys need extra time and you need to stand on the point without dying. He and Ranged Deku can dance around with 5 people around them pretty well. I mean, as well as you can.
230 headshots are super strong also.
Yep. Exia has literally no drop off, so if you headshot from across the map, it does the same damage as if you're standing in their face. Alex has shown me that. Not really complaint. I'm really hesitant on all of the characters who have some sort of install super where they sorry, that's fighting game lingo. The supers or the G moves where you go Super Saiyan and then you can do things. Because Gun Tank ult just instantly caps them. So with comms, there are other ults that you just fucking kill them immediately. So you see Exia ulting and it's well, we're gonna kill him right now. And everyone dumps everything and he got nothing out of his G maneuver. So I'm always a bit hesitant with those. You have to do it early and then plan around it, and it just makes it. I feel like it just drops a tier versus Barb can be oh shit, I'm about to die, and then ult and get the hell out of there.
Cancel your gun with your 2. I called 2.
Oh,
Their
then-
swipers.
No, they literally ability 1, 2, 3, and G maneuver, so that's actually tracks. But you're talking about Exia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can go 2 into charge. Nice.
Yeah, so if you get close to him, you hit him in the head, and not even the charge, just literally the ability.
Oh, nice, slashy.
Yeah.
The fully charge is nice too.
Oh yeah, yeah, dash. That's.
I think I
230.
think I put him in my B tier. I'm not sure. I'll check on that when we get to it.
I think the rest of my thing would be Reggie and A. Reggie's just doesn't do anything crazy, I guess, but just has really good shit. You put him, or oh yeah, Exia B, right.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Reggie's over here.
Yeah, Reggie got really good damage on the rifle. I like the beam rifle a lot in general. Hyper Hammer is awesome. The little fucking ball does a lot of damage. And Shield,
Counters.
I don't know. It's all-rounded good shit. I feel like it's a good starter character.
Yep.
I want to play him more.
And he counters Sazabi. So Mr. Unit over here with 1400 health and 2000 shield. I'm kidding, but with that huge ass health and shield pool, you can just take his shield away and fight him.
Yeah, and you can last too with your shield. I put Methis in A.
A? Okay, let's go.
I think Methis is A. Yeah, dude. The healing mixed with the ult. You don't get the ult that much, but it's really good. But then you factor in the turn, and it's okay, he's got a really good group of equipment.
Dude, that turret for scouting, god tier. When you just are okay, we're all guarding right, but we need to know if they're going left. That turret, you just drop it down, and even if they kill it instantly, you see the damage indicator, and you're oh, they're that way. I agree. Methis is turret.
Doesn't it say after you die too?
Yes, it does.
That's really good.
The
pistols are actually really good damage too. They look dinky, but they're honestly as long as you can hit, that's not a skill thing.
Yeah.
But if you can get the amount of headshots, you're gonna be wow, this is doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's another video I want to make. I'm gonna try and do kill times and try and just almost make a challenge that's oh, I'm trying to beat my kill times and then post it in the video below and then I'll recap it and fix the video. That's like
I think
I am really interested if Dom's kill time with by dropping the mines and shooting the lasers is the fastest in the game. It might be because even Barbados's is like 1, 2. You know, like there's a chunk of time in there. But all right, you feeling this tier list? We got S tier Barbados Marasai, pretty common. A tier Maharu Unicorn Melee Zaku, Sazabi Dom Sniper, Pill Rider Reggie Methis. Then down in B tier, Swag Tank leading B tier, Range Zaku, Turn A and Exia, and the GM tier with Ass Hammer and Jiren.
Yeah, I like it.
All right.
I'd be willing to do another one.
Nice.
This format if you want.
I'd appreciate it. I'm actually kind of having fun with this at this point. So Gundam Osborne, Gundam. Oh. What? Transparency. Sure. Oh, that's the selected image thing. Okay. Open. All right. Let's go, John.
That's tier.
All right, here.
Barbados.
Fast. Reasons why. Go quick.
I mean, it's Barbados. His ability to just kill any single target is astronomical on top of 3 dashes.
Yep. We
And
just
then his ult just has so much movement. That is concluding S tier. Marasai can down to
No,
A
you're
tier.
just no.
all
Here's
right.
my reasoning. Marasai, when his kit is online, is S tier. But when his kit is down, he's C tier. His gun is just falls flat for me.
He
Like-
does like 220 headshots.
Yeah, but he has what 9 rounds in a clip, and it
Go-
fires at a slow rate.
Oh wait, hold on. Go check how much Reggie's Gundam's headshots do. I'm pretty sure it's 600. Is my comparison there. I'm kind of with him about the gun. I'm on that user cooldowns. Right?
343. Is there actually fall off on this one? Yeah, there is fall off on the Gundam. Interesting.
I don't know, man. I just think that like if you
Max headshot
if you get caught in a situation where all you have in your gun is
460.
your gun, and it happened last game when it was
Mhm.
2v1 against the Zeku melee, and you're like I'm on cooldown, which means you have
It's
nothing.
not playing as a team necessarily all the time, and the other part is that we haven't 6-stacked. It's different when 6-stack when you play around the water side. Like it's a whole
Yeah.
different like it's a play style. It's like
But I'm not rating a team. I'm rating a character. And
Yeah,
I think
in
that
queues.
when
it
his
almost-
kid is on cooldown, he is worthless.
Respect. I'd agree if I ever noticed that they're I would go at him. All right.
I'll throw Maharu in A tier there.
Ooh, Mr. Grenade Man and his
Yeah,
buff.
I think his grenades are pretty ridiculous, and I think he would be lower before the recent patch, but that
Yeah.
patch really,
Yep.
really helped him.
His ult is so much stronger now too. Like you
Yeah.
can like one shot people if you just walk up in their face with it.
Yeah, and
I'm
his
trying to-
ability to just like control a lane is pretty huge.
one thing before so Marasai's fall off is shorter than Gundam, and it does max 340. But
Max 3-4. Okay, so Marseille does. Okay, yeah. Makes sense.
A tier. We'll do Pale Rider. Obviously, I'm a Pale Rider player. I think Pale Rider just has probably the most well-rounded kit, and he would be an S tier if he had a way to deal with shields.
Very true.
I think if he had a way to deal with shields, he would be the most broken character in the game. But his only way to deal with shields is to just deal damage through them, which
Or-
is just not great.
Or run away flat out. Like,
Yeah.
which he can do pretty well with the slow grenade.
I'll go Unicorn next. He's just really well rounded, and as a healer, he also has really high offensive capabilities.
Yeah, dude,
I
that
think his-
gun. Man.
Yeah, I think even his ult is one of the better ults. Like you can win a game with that ult.
Oh, dude, sorry, I just had a flashback. You're right. There's been times when I'm just aiming down a hallway, and then 3 people walk in, like after I just didn't know they were turning the corner. And oh, hey, I just hit 4 people with a unicorn ult. You just shoot another one, and they're dead. Like, yeah.
We'll throw Melee Saku up there. He's weird. He's kind of between A and B for me. He's an A tier if someone doesn't know how to deal with him specifically,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. His ult kind of really propels him forward because it's just so hard to deal with.
Yep.
If he's in rage and he presses ult, like he's gonna
Oh yeah.
possibly team kill.
It literally kills 800s in 2 swings. So it's like swing, swing, dead if you have rage and ult. But yeah, one thing I just want to point out for like the information of this video, you can stun him out of his ult. It is a pain in the ass to do so because he's moving so fast. So like basically like if you're playing Maharu, or sorry, not Maharu. Actually no, yeah, Maharu, Marasai, or Reggie Gundam. Those are the 3 I think would be the easiest to get him immediately. You almost want to like keep an eye out. Like Melee Zeku probably has his ult now. There he is, stunned. Like that's the only way you can really stop it.
Tornade's good for that.
Oh, turn A. Yep. Sorry.
The only annoying thing is with like the range stuns is his hitbox is spinning in a circle, so it's kind of weird.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you're on like a desync server, like it's hard to hit.
Yeah, no, and he moves fast too when he's ulting too. It's almost like a sprint, you know. It's almost like Gun Tank's push, where it's like, oh, he's like twice as fast now.
I'd put Dom in A tier. I think he's one of the better, well-rounded characters. I think he's a nightmare in a 1v1 fight for most characters.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. That is another place where Ashimir actually jumps up in value. Is he can deal with Dom really well just by taking to the air and then forcing him to actually hit him with the rockets instead of getting splash damage.
Sazabi's close to A tier for me, but I think I'm gonna put him as my first B tier selection.
Okay, top of B for Zabi.
I don't really have a solid reason why B over A. I don't know. I feel like his kid is just missing one more piece.
That shotgun is only close range, that's for sure.
Yeah. Like if he had, I don't know, just one more thing. I don't know. I don't know what it needs, but it feels like it needs one more thing.
I think one thing with us too is David always plays Reggie, and I think Reggie destroys Sazabi. You just knock his shield down, 3 headshots gone. Like,
Only reason why Sazabi's not in this.
yep.
I was thinking about putting Xe in A tier, but I'm just gonna put him in B tier. I think that nerf really hurt him, but he's still pretty solid. I think he can be annoying if he's not dealt with properly.
Mm-hmm.
Go range Zaku next. He's really good. He could definitely be A tier. I just feel like what he needs to be in A tier is a little tighter spread from ranged, just like a
Yeah.
hair tighter.
Yep. There is a
Kind of,
hard drop off on the spread. It's almost like all of a sudden it's a sniper hip fire.
But like his push grenade's super good. Like on any map with ledges, you can kill people with it, and like 3 dashes and an invuln, it's just pretty nutty for escape.
Yep.
Feels like Exia a lot of times. It's just like, holy shit.
Yeah, I think Range
can't-
Zeku's a better Exia for sure.
I'd agree with that, especially with his ult. I'll throw Reggie next. Reggie's really good, but he suffers from the same thing as Sazabi suffers from, where I feel like his kid's just missing one piece.
Oops.
I feel like his shield isn't useful enough for that to be the majority of his kit with his stun, but I just feel like he's missing something.
Bam. Yeah, we got Sniper, GM, Ass Hammer, Methus, Swag Tank, Turn A.
And we'll put Methus next. I think Methus has super potential to be really good, but my problem with Methus is that if you get caught in a one-on-one fight, you can just
Yeah.
pack it up.
Yep.
Pretty over. I think he needs maybe 200 more health. Like if he was at 1,000 base health, I think that would be a much
Better
Well,
spot.
yeah.
I'm glad you added that actually, because I was thinking, what would we do? What would you do to Reggie? It's like someone. I think you would just add more shield characters to make Reggie Gundam like needed.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
there's
yeah.
only really like 2, and then also Reggie that you can hit with his shield break, and it's like,
Yeah, and Reggie himself has the cooldown, so it's not even the same thing where he's always shielding. There are times when it's like,
Yeah.
nah, that he's naked. All right. So
throw Gun Tank up next. Gun Tank can be really annoying if you know what you're doing with him. I just think, I don't know, he's all right. It's firm B tier for me.
yeah, I was gonna talk about this when Joe was talking about him too. I think this character, more than every other character in the game, has a firm ceiling. Like there's no such thing as being better than this good with gun tank. You know, it's not like,
Yeah.
oh well, you missed a headshot. Like it's just like, no, you just did what you did at some point, and it reminds me of the Sentinel laser, not the Sentinel laser. What's that one laser beam in Halo? Oh,
Spartan laser.
yes,
Sentinel beam.
it's the one that's just a constant beam, not the one you charge up
Oh.
and shoot.
It's a Sentinel beam.
Sentinel beam. Yeah. Okay, so it reminds me of that, where it's like, it's not the worst thing ever, but the other players have the ability to make themselves better at a moment's notice, whereas you can't with gun tank. You're just doing your gun tank thing.
I'll go turn A next. He's a really good alt, and it can win games for sure if it's played right. And he does a good job at countering. I just feel like outside of who he counters and like the odd, I'm gonna use my alt right now to win this round. He doesn't have much else that I respect.
For sure.
I think it's easy to dodge his suplex. So I don't know. Ashmir here. Ashmir's tricky. In the games Ashmir is useful, he's almost an S tier. In the games where he's not useful, he's below a C tier. Like in domination or on defense, on point capture or destruction, C tier. In attack on point capture or destruction, he's like an S tier if played right. His ability to just change the outcome of how the fights are taking place is just so big. Like he changes at what angle the teams are fighting, just because he's gonna fly behind you and around you.
Yep, that's like the boat map in a nutshell. You fly around the
Yeah.
side, take their health pack so they don't have them, and then force them to come to you.
Yeah. Instead of fighting on that corner. And then like his flame grenade's pretty solid. His ult's like literally just the same thing as Seku range. Yeah, I don't know. B tier for me. I know a lot of people put him in C, but I think his potential for when he is good is high enough to put him in B tier.
I changed him actually in mine.
So I was kind of waiting to see if anyone else wanted to chime in. My take with Ashmir on that one though is, and I know this is going to sound really oversimplified, but I think his issue is the fact that the health packs are on the ground and he doesn't have a way to speed
That would
his
be
descent.
so cool if they
I know.
added air
health
health packs.
I
I
know.
thought about adding more air combat. Like
Yep.
they need to add more characters.
Exactly. Like if they catch up to it and they keep adding more flying and more shielding characters, I think they can grow into like that kind of thing. But I think right now there are so many times when I see Ashmir in the air, I tap him low, and then like both of us we both in our heads, it's like the health pack. Like we both know and we have to get there first. And I swear I always get there first because you can't fall faster. You know, I can dash and dash jump and like there's like tech you can do. So there's just times I think, and then accompanying that with the fact that I think Asimir will only get worse because people will get better at realizing that fucker's flying in the air. You know, like so. So for him to not be in A tier or S tier means that the longer time goes on, he's just gonna keep dropping. So I'm just kind of putting him there now. So I guess
yeah, I really respect his ability to change the dynamics of a battle. Is kind of where I'm at with him in the B tier.
Yep.
Links are strong, definitely.
Go down to C. GM. I think he is just
He's in his own
missing
gear.
something, man. He's missing something.
Yeah, that's for damn sure.
He doesn't have enough health to be a tank. He doesn't do enough damage to be like a damage dealer. His ult is really his saving grace.
Yep. It is one of the best ults in the game, but
Yep.
the more I've played, there's tech you can do to fuck with it. The two things, it's the one concept with like the two sets of things that really deal with it. Gun tank ult flying past it, flies past it so fast they literally blow up and don't even move, and the ult gets out of there. And then two flying characters can just fly past them and they can't catch up to them. Like, so there's if you see a GM ult and you're on Asimir or Methis, you almost have to take it upon yourself to go on a fucking, what's it called, Top Gun mission run and just fly past the explosives real quick. And all right, of course, John's putting Sniper in S tier. So his tier list is done.
Sniper C tier for me, man. He has like potential to be decent, but he's just not, man. Like he can't kill every character with a headshot. He doesn't have anything in his kit besides the Vulcan pod. The jump pad's pretty much useless. It's got some.
Jump pad is so useless.
It's got some tech on it, but it's just
It's
like
fun.
I don't know, man. I feel like if they were gonna give him a jump pad, they should have just gave him a super jump. Like
Let him
fair
fly.
enough. Yeah. The
It-
one
it-
thing that definitely bothers me about the jump pad is the enemy team can use it too. So you can be
Yeah.
like, "Come on, guys, let's go through this hallway." Then the entire enemy team follows you in the hallway.
And the
If they
enemy team can
actually-
destroy it, but you can't destroy your own jump pad.
No ADS while jumping. Manny was raging about that when he realized
Yeah.
that.
You can't. He has a jump
Oh.
pad. Can't aim down his sight when he's jumping. His blind fire is fucking
Man.
useless.
Oh, dude,
Like
the blind.
he literally
What was
could
Man-
barrel stuff someone and miss. So I don't know. It's C tier.
Literally.
What was Manny saying about if you ult with GM sniper, you can aim
Yes.
down the sights? I'm gonna charge his ult. I need to know that.
Yeah, you should test that. He was saying that he thinks you can do it if you have your ult on. I just
I
want to
think
throw
I
this.
tried that. I think it doesn't.
Yeah, I think it does. When you're like when you, I think you
Nice.
can jump and zoom in just when you have your alt going or something.
I
Okay, so
didn't
then-
know that, but I'm trying it right
Maybe
now.
you can't jump. You have to do it through your
Pad.
jump pad, yeah, or something
Ooh.
weird. I remember testing that because I was like, why is this even here?
Mm-hmm.
It's
One
way
thing
too much setup to be mediocre.
I want to throw into his negative comments on Sniper also. I literally, with Alex, I can't explain literally enough, tested this. His hip fire is so bad. I touched the barrel to his, to Exio's face. And, not his face, his body more so, just to see how bad it was, and it still missed. Like, the gun couldn't possibly have missed, and it went, around him. There was no trajectory where the bullet wouldn't have gone through him. So it's one, it means it's a hit point fire game. Two, it means that the hip fire is literally your entire screen is possible where it could go. So it's Jesus, man, that's just a bit much to let the guy do something in close range. I guess that's where the Vulcan turret comes in, but I think that Vulcan turret sucks.
Always
it's
can
good.
ADS while ulted.
All right, cool.
It's a good bonus, but the Vulcan turret just doesn't do enough damage by itself to be.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Worth-
in your dashes,
worthwhile.
it's wild actually.
Yeah, you.
Here, let me test. I'm in a practice right now. Let me
Mhm.
test how much damage the Vulcan turret does from full. 600 damage. It does
Nice.
600 damage in entire Vulcan.
Back up and see what the damage fall off is. I bet it's gonna be pitiful.
Oh, some probably
I guess then you have the
It's
sniper.
219 body hits. I might have hit a couple arms. Let me try and not hit arms.
It's still not enough to fight a one-on-one fight with
And
a
I
Barbados.
don't think it can crit. It can't.
I remember I think I put him in my mid tier, almost dead center, and my whole thing there also to John's one, if you're gonna hack, you're gonna use the sniper is my first thing. So he has obvious potential where it's his ceiling is he doesn't have a ceiling, the ceiling it's the stars. You can go as far as you want with that thing. But
Yeah, you can aim and jump in your ult at any time.
nice, yeah. But I think his big issue is Barbados destroys him. There is no greater meal for Barbados than a sniper who's within arm's reach.
Yeah.
There's nothing he can do about it. It's over. So I think that thing, that, and the fact that Barbados is the most powerful character in the game. John touched on it recently. I just want to recap. Barbados' whole thing is he has a 2-shot combo kill that kills anyone. He has other ways to combo that's slightly faster that can kill the lesser health characters. Whenever he gets a kill, he gets a free jump that just jumps him out of the battle. So he just runs around, instant kill, runs away. Runs around, instant kill, runs away. He is the best character in the game. I think we all agree on that.
Yep. I think Sniper could be in B tier as well, but I think that all the bad players gravitate towards the Sniper, so it drags him down to C for me.
Yep. And my kind of what I was going for with my tier list at least was if you were just jumping in a queue, what would be the best character to choose? And I think that Sniper gets lowered dramatically because you need your team to protect you sometimes on Sniper versus Marasai and Barbados. You don't need anyone. You're just doing your own thing. Follow me, guys. Sort of thing.
Also, his heal gun, his repair gun,
Mm.
has a 20-second cooldown. And for
Ooh.
why?
It's pretty
should
long
be,
range though, I will
10.
say.
it's
Yeah, but,
super freaking long range.
I don't know. That would be the saving grace for him.
To be a more
20
support.
seconds is too long.
All right, so I'm gonna go over yours real quick again. S tier is okay, so not S. Barbatos tier. He has his own tier, and then Marasai, Maharu, Pale Rider, Unicorn, Melee, Zaku, Dom in A. Then down in B we got Sazabi, Exia, Ranged, Reggie, Methis, Swag Tank, Erne, Asshammer, and then Sniper GM in GM tier. That sound good to you?
Me.
Oh, where do we put this thing?
Oh, I'd like that to be its own tier.
Oh, okay. Oh. Black line.
Make a new team.
Here. What color should we do? Yellow. No, yeah, yellow works. Wait, no,
Yellow.
that's not what I wanted. Not there. That's not. No, that's not where I wanted. I'm fucking up, you guys. Including when I said that word. All right, now click off it and we're good. Now we make the text yellow. This is important, everyone. Thing tier. There we go. So Gundam John. All right, Mike, do you want to go still, or am I forgetting someone?
I'll go.
All right. File. Open. Gundam template. There. Yeah, do you want to see? All right, cool. Here. That up. Okay. Here we go.
Alright.
Actually, give me a second. I don't know why I did this. I should have moved closer to the top.
Yeah. I play Ashmere for the most part. Play Barbatos a little bit too, but for my S tier, obviously Barbatos. Everybody's favorite S tier. He can just kill in ways that other people don't seem to be able to.
Instantly too. It's like 1, 2, dead. Like
Yeah. Just like that. But I will also put Melee Zeku up there with him.
whoop. Reasons why? Question mark.
Just the command or the respect that they command from the other team,
Yeah, for sure.
the attention that they demand in order to be dealt with.
Yeah, if you start using comms, there are two like names you're gonna hear like desperately screamed as they die. It's like Barbaros, 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 or Melee Zaku, Melee Zaku. It's rough.
Yeah, I'd put Marasai in the S tier as well. I just think the fact that he has the only pull in the game where everybody else only has push mechanics is really important.
Mm-hmm.
That probably concludes my S tier.
Just a quick possible mention. So when I go Pale Rider, Unicorn, Sazabi would be the.
Yeah, I guess Unicorn's utility is top notch.
Do you
So
think?
I'd consider him for S tier. Yeah, I'd put him up there.
Okay.
But I think that's it.
Put it off nice. All right. Now down to A tier.
A tier, Pale Rider definitely falls into A tier because he's great, but
I want to talk about that gun again. John mentioned it briefly. That gun is the easiest, most powerful. Like the combination of those two things, it's the easiest and the most powerful with the easiest gun in the game. So if you're a new player, I highly recommend you play Pale Rider. That's the character you want to start with for sure. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
that's okay. Dom is probably my next candidate for A tier. He definitely can handle his own, especially in a one-on-one. He has heavy damage output.
Rockets, yeah.
Sazabi's my next candidate for A tier. His sustainability is just crazy good.
We can kind of hear someone's game in the background. I don't necessarily mind it. Just figured I'd let you know. Not sure who.
Maharu also falls into A tier for me.
Noob tube. Grenade. All right. So who's next?
Next up, I'll put Range Zaku in A tier too.
Reasons why?
His ranged weaponry is just pretty consistent compared to a lot of the other ranged weaponry.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it does. It's easier to be blindsided by him than some of the other ranged people.
For sure.
But
He likes to get behind people. That's where he lives. Sneaking up on the culo. All right.
So let's say in B tier here, I think Swag Tank falls in the B tier.
Waggy.
So I think he falls just a little bit short of everybody else above him, but still
Mm-hmm.
he
Unlimited
tries.
ammo. I like that. That is the vibe it gives. Where it's like he's a damn good player. Like he's a good teammate, to have on. Like I would be happy when I saw a random playing a gun tank. But man, if he gets into a 1-on-1, it's just gonna lose. Like what's he gonna do against a Pale Rider or a Barbados? Like
Yeah.
Push him off a cliff, hopefully.
yeah.
GM obviously falls into the bottom tier because he's a weakling masquerading as a tank.
I like that. That's exactly what the issue is. That 800 health behind you have to do the duties of a tank, and then somebody removes your shield, and it's like he has 800 health. Like bang bang dead. Like
It's like, oh, this was a joke to begin with.
yeah.
He's like, I almost got you.
Like Mr. Krabs, and you take his shell away.
Yeah, dude, that flabby interior. Man, all right. So
Let's see here. Reggie, I'd put in B tier because he's just Reggie. Regular guy doing regular things, an average grade.
with a DMR,
Yeah,
interesting.
average gun.
One thing I want to say, David is pretty unapproachable in his total kills with Reggie. But that one always has me like, damn, how is he doing that? Or graveyards, I should say. Probably get a part 2 that has Glad and graveyards. We can pin them down. All right. So now we got Exia, Asimer, Sniper, Turn A, and Methus.
Sniper, I'll throw into B tier because I think he's a little bit better than GM. And he's got his uses. I wouldn't be immediately turned off by his presence on my team, though. It does often mean you're not gonna have a good teammate. It could be useful. Where GM, you're just kind of like, well, we're kind of down a
Yeah,
useful piece here.
it's pretty assumed like that he's gonna hold you back a bit.
And
Sorry, I just want to say one thing with the sniper too. I say this a lot. Sniper reminds me a lot of 3-point shooting in the NBA though, where it's like it can lose you games and it can win you games. Like, and I think that as the players get better, it's gonna become firmly like it can win you games rather than it can lose. Because like people are just gonna get so good with it that it's gonna like similar to 3-point shooting. It's just gonna push the envelope so far forward. I don't know. I think right now though, like people just don't even know the maps well enough to. I think there's so many like hidden like angles that like people haven't even discovered yet that are overpowered.
yeah, the downsides for Sniper obviously is health. The fact that his hip fire is crap, and then his jump pad just really sucks. Like mostly because of what you can't do with it. Like since this game doesn't let you climb on buildings or anything,
Oh yeah, that's a
no
really good
use.
point.
Like if you were actually given an added mobility, like being able to jump on top of buildings and stuff with it, then maybe it would have a use, but you're just kind of bouncing in place for the most part. Let's see. Mathis, I'd put in B tier as well. He's good, he's useful, but I just don't think he breaks the mold of A tier.
True.
I said B tier.
Oh, I'm sorry. I suck at this. I'm such a stoner. Haha, it's still highlighted. I knew I was getting there. I just trying to
Let's
mess with
see.
audio real quick here.
Exia. Tough one. Could fall in either category for me. I don't know. Convince me.
On
What's your
Exia,
pitch? Yeah, what's your pitch on Exia?
I think he's just a bad version of Range Zaku.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like he has the verticality thing going for him, so he can jump up. I guess depending on the map, if it's a really vertical map like the one that has sea upstairs and downstairs, Exia all of a sudden becomes better than Range Zaku. But overall, I think he's the same idea as him, where it's like it's really hard to pin him down even when he's right in front of you, and his whole game plan is to get behind the other team. I think the three characters that have the assassins game plan is what I would call it from like, or the junglers game plan from League, is Barbados, Exia, and Range Zaku. Their game plan is to get you guys to overextend, get behind you to create the pincer. Um, and I think that Exia is the worst at getting the kill. Like you can get the kill, you can even guarantee the kill, but it takes way more skill and way more chances to fuck up than Range Zeku and Barbados. Are both brain dead. You know, like you just unload an SMG on someone, or you do the combo that you always do on someone. Versus Exia requires like thinking and skill. You got to charge behind the corner. It's more work for the same result.
Okay. Well. All right. I'll throw her into B tier.
With Exia.
Turn A Gundam. I'd also put into B tier.
And then Asimir.
Asmir. I think that there's an understated usefulness in being able to switch characters to Asimir, because there are a lot of games where you might be able to stuff their attempt to detonate or something, because you could switch to this guy and run in and just be the guy to stop people for a couple of seconds before reinforcements arrive. So I think that takes him out of C contention in general.
Okay. The one thing I was thinking too, that when you were bringing that up, that's a really good point, is he could be like a late bomb squad center, where I described the bomb squad as like the bombs like at 75%. You all don't have your ults already and aren't close to getting them. You just all need to switch to characters that can disarm this bomb. You know, my game plan was always Sazabi, Methis, Unicorn. Those three are you need those three flat out. Boom. But like now you make a good point where it's like if Sazabi dies early, he could just switch to Asimir and try and catch back up to everyone else who's still doing the bomb squad, like just as like a sprint. That's a fair point, yeah.
So I think that gives him a lot of usefulness, especially in late game, because if you're trying to regroup your squad and one person dies off, they could come back in half the time as Asimir.
Yeah, like
as
if
an
you,
option.
the one thing I want to highlight though, when you switch characters, it removes all of your ult. But like, no, you're right. It's like if you already had 20, if you were 20% towards the ult and there's like 30 seconds left, it's like screw the 80%. You're not getting that anyways. Like,
Yeah, what matters at the end of the game is how fast you can get back after you die
true.
sometimes. And that's what he's the best at. So
So where are we putting
I
him?
put him in B category.
Okay.
His firebomb also does ticks of damage, which I think is the only thing in this game that does ticks of damage like that.
Mm-hmm.
Though
All
it
right.
doesn't last very long. And then I'd put that on Dom as a hat.
Okay, hold on. I gotta rotate it. How do I rotate these? Rotate 90 degrees that way. There we go. We're putting on Dom as a hat, you said?
Yeah.
We're gonna make it a crown?
Kinda like a crown,
Yeah. I gotta get it about his head size. Dude, this thing has
Hey,
taken
that's
some.
not fair.
Oh, man. Why Dom, also? I'm intrigued with that.
He just looks like he could use a hat.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah. He's a hat guy, but he doesn't have one.
It's gonna cover up Melee Zaku's.
Now it's Melzaku. It's fine.
Yeah, now you turned him into Melzaku.
Melanie Zaku.
Alright, so I'm just gonna go over them real quick to double tag. You got Barbados, Melzaku, Marasai, and then also Unicorn as S tier best characters. A tier, Pale Rider, Dom, Sazabi. Yep, all these. Maharu, Range Zaku. Makes sense to me. B, Swag Tank, Reggie. Reggie is R78. I'm not sure if that's not clear to everyone yet. sorry, swag gun tank R78, sniper Methis, Exia, turn A, ass hammer, and then down in GM tier there's GM doing GM thing. That
Because
all?
nobody's worse than he is.
Yeah. That really is you hit the nail on the head. Is when my teammate chooses GM, my like, it's not even like there's a drop in my like soul. I just am like, oh, that's how it is it? You know, like it's just an instant acceptance that he's gonna be useless.
We're playing a game handicapped today.
Which, you know, it's exaggerating. I'm sorry, because it's like I've definitely lost to GM
Hey,
where they
I'm
were.
sorry to interrupt. Can you guys hear Dead Chungus? Because you guys, can you switch to that one?
Yeah,
Wait,
no,
I
I
also-
lowered him a bit actually. Sorry. The gunfire was coming in through the. Why do you? Ah, whatever.
Oh, is it through that one? Or...
Yeah.
You guys, I gotta head out.
All right. Thanks for this, Oz or Sage, I
Yeah.
should say. Appreciate
This
you
was fun.
participating in this. Yeah, I want to do this with specific maps also because the maps
you?
are the game types. Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest, that's where I think we really grow is like talking about this tier list thing like relative to the map, so that we can actually have like a real end game plan. Like, so we know what we believe this is the best way to do this. Even if we disagree on small things, we'll still have like a plan of how to attack this map if our lives are on the line and we had to win this game, you know, sort of thing.
Cool.
But thanks again, Sage. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
save
of
this as Mike's. So did I miss anyone, or did we all do it now? I think we all did. I'm gonna do my own, honestly. Real
I
quick.
haven't gone yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, Donnie. I knew I was missing someone.
All right.
Hold on, I gotta load the next one. Save. Open. Let's.
I'm just afraid you guys are gonna hear me twice because I have both my mics on.
No, yeah. I just lowered the Gundam one because I heard shooting and stuff, and it got progressively louder, and I didn't want mics to
Is it
get
actually
interrupted.
from my screen?
It was coming from Chungus. Yeah. Yeah. So honestly, yes, I do think it is. It's the volume from your screen or from your screen. All right, so that's all of them. Okay. So I'm gonna do one thing real. No, I want this all one continuous video. Okay, never mind. I was gonna stop the video just to out of safety's case, but I want this to be continuous. So I
Oh,
can...
well, someone was in the Twitch chat. I gave him your Twitch stream also, but he joined the Discord. He just doesn't have speaking privileges, and he gave me his list.
Oh, nice.
So I'm gonna post it in Gundam Evolution.
Okay, here. Let's do yours first, and then I'll switch because I have to switch OBS to Discord then. So I want to
Okay.
stay in MS Paint right here. We'll do these
That's
guys.
cool.
Yeah, I'll add him. I'll add his role. You just got to make him Sock Corp LLC if you want to do it yourself.
Yeah, okay.
What is this? Grabbed a random white piece. Let's move this to S tier. You know what? This thing is S tier actually. Covering it. Actually, this is a quick intermission. I am going to fight a pizza guy. Grabbed real quick. One sec. I'm gonna mute my mic. All right, sorry about that. I defeated the pizza guy.
Sock Corp. There it is.
Yeah, Sock Corp LLC, the red
You
one.
have so many freaking roles. Holy shit.
I know. I really need to clean that up.
Shut up.
Oh yeah, that's for me. Whenever when you, well, yeah, you guys can do that too. You just put someone in that and they can't talk. Don't abuse your mod powers too much.
Hey, Zach, just so you know, if you click in the toolbar of MS Paint in the select drop-down menu, you can transparent select, so that way, like, you won't overlap things when you're selecting someone.
Yeah, okay, I gotcha. Doop. Yeah, so the white's not gonna deal with it then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just been doing squares though to make it quick grabs, like real quick.
I think you're good now, sunglasses.
Oh, neat.
Hey,
Thank you. Thank you.
welcome, sir. Okay, DK, you ready?
Oh, it's my turn. Yeah, I'm ready.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
S tier, Barbados, clearly just combos people to death. Trades in 1v1 at minimum, and that's, I mean, Marsai, pretty much the same thing. Pick pretty much any character other than Sazabi because of the shield, and I guess obviously GM and sometimes Gundam, but you can pretty much pull everyone else. Turn 8 can kind of counter him because he's CC immune, but eh. Next bit for me, A tier. The healers and Sazabi. Unicorn, I mean, best healer in the game, has a little bit of a shove.
I'm gonna put him more to the
Shield.
left then, so he gets the number 1 slot.
Yeah, that one just stands out to me. Almost an S, but just doesn't have the kill potential the other two have.
Yeah.
Pale Rider. Mango was talking about it. He is so close to S tier. And I liked how he put it. I couldn't figure out why I didn't want to put him up there. I think he did hit it with the shield. In fact, most teams are going to be running a Sazabi and healers. Like, you don't necessarily get the one hit kill like type potential that you want.
Yep.
Out of all the headshots and whatnot. Sazabi, he goes on any team comp. That's the other thing about A. Like, you pick up these characters and your team's like, cool.
So should I go Sazabi or Methis next?
I don't know. They're all in the same tier for me.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna grab Methis then, so I don't forget him. Honestly.
Okay.
So Methis. Let's go over him real quick then.
All right, Memphis. Healing. There is no anti-heal in this game, so it takes out like healing actually counters Barbados to some extent. Unicorn Shield counters Barbados on a lot of the kills, except for like the super low health people, like the 500s and stuff like that. But it takes you out of the kill thresholds. Same thing with Pale Rider and Methis. Methis also has pickups, flies on certain maps.
Ranged pickups, I want to clarify too.
Yeah, range pickups. And his damage isn't that bad. Not stellar, but your goal's not to 1v1 with that character. But it goes the end where it just fits on any team comp, really. Sazabi, same thing. Fits on any team comp. Frontliner can eat 2400 damage before he dies. That's great. Only reason why he's not S for me is specifically Gundam stuns, really. But yeah, but that takes us honestly into the next group, which would be Seku Melee.
So you're gonna put him in B tier, is what you're saying, or
Yeah, we're going down the B tier.
Okay, here I want to do something real quick. That's the case. Oh wait, yeah, this will work. Right. It didn't work. No. Oh fuck it. 2. There we go. It worked. Good enough. I'll remake that line. Second. Apologize. Terrible with the. All right, there we go.
B tier. Zeku Melee. Kind of needs a team around him. Like you can't just. A lot of times people just shoot him a bunch. Obviously, make him super overpowered. But in cons, don't shoot him. You can deal with him. He needs kind of a team around him, and I feel the same way actually about Zeku ranged. John Mango said it also, where Zeku ranged, his damage fall off just kind of makes him feel underwhelming, but also unkillable.
For sure.
Next. Oh, these are all going to be.
No, I know. I'm trying to just clear off that line lazily.
Oh, okay.
While you were talking about it. Sorry if I was distracting. I didn't mean to.
No, you're good. Just Echo range can just throw in B also.
All right.
Gun tank.
Any thoughts about ranged?
Oh yeah, I was talking about. I agree with Mango on the damage fall off. He's just unkillable, so he kind of just goes in B because he's just such an annoyance.
Gotcha.
Because a gun tank goal, goes in B. It's kind of situational, but really good. Annoying character, does its job. Exia again, just kind of unkillable, annoying in your, just solid damage, decent. Kind of just the worst Barbados, really.
Yeah, and the ult's a worse Hades also.
Yeah. Maru. I don't know. I think it's probably one of those things where it's going to be a map kind of selection, but there's so many maps where this character feels S tier, and the fact you can scout, look ahead.
Yeah, you can literally run to their base and scan them while they're in their base.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him in B. He's been A and B for me, but we're gonna put him in B. I don't necessarily think you need him. So, who's next? Town Trooper. Again, kind of situational. I know Sock was saying some of the higher ranked people play Dom because they hit their shit.
Actually, no, specifically, this is a weird one. The number 1 ranked player plays exclusively Dom. And then, like, there's a drop where it's, like, Sazabis, regular Gundams, and, like, a few... It's kind of scattered, honestly. But the number 1 is Dom, and then it's a while, and then it's, like, number 15, then there's a bunch of Doms. So it's either that guy's hacking or something, or he's just a
Are you
beast.
talking about X-Ray?
I don't remember his name, honestly.
Number 1 player plays Exia only.
Oh, okay. So that might be a little outdated here with that one, but...
Yeah.
Anyways.
What was I at? GM Sniper. Sniper. Again, situational, but I'm so tempted to put it in A because it one-shot headshots, but I'm not good enough to do it. I'm pretty decent. So it's just like, you gotta really be a next level kind of person to do that. I guess I'm not the one. Next level gonna be Kashmir. It's kind of a counter for me. I think it's super map dependent. The grenade is really good. Kashmir alt solid, but it's going down into the C tier.
Oh. I think I might be right about there.
Next one.
But do you want him in C or B, I guess?
C.
Okay.
C. God, I'm gonna put Gundam actually in B. I was thinking about C, but I'm gonna put Gundam in B. I like Gundam a lot. He's just a counter. He counters a lot of shit, and it's great. So necessary sometimes. Turn A. It's going into. I'm gonna put it with the hammer, man. Put it with the hammer. I know. I like him because he is a counter, but he just feels like a worse Marsai and a worse Reggie. GM's in his own tier. He's in the GM tier.
Okay.
Yeah, he's GM.
I'm gonna move it over there. Let's see. Color.
Garbage man.
Yeah, he's just GM. He sets the bar kind of low. Not a healer because his healing grenade isn't. Yeah, he's just kind of meh. Everything is meh. But that's it.
Okay. What do you want to do with this little crown thing that appeared?
Ooh. Put it on top of Marsai's head because it's better than Barbados deep down.
All right. The GM's head it is.
What's on the GM's head? Give me the dunce clap.
Does look that way. Come on. Grab it. Curse UMS paint. All right. File. Save that. Oh, wait. Recap. So, S tier, Barbados and Marsai in their own tier. Unicorn, Pale Rider, Methis, just 3 healers. The 3 good healers, I should say. GM is technically a healer, but... And like, there are times it works well, but... I don't know. Character sucks. Unicorn, Pale Rider, Methis, Zabi, Tanky Boy. Both the Zakus. Swag Tank, Exia, Maharu. Dom, Sniper, Reggie. Then Asmir and T and Turn A. Little GM tier down here. Does that make sense? Sound good to you, Don?
Yeah. Feels good.
All right.
Sounds like
DK.
the only thing we unanimous agree on.
This GM's bad. We also have Barbados up there.
Yeah, that's true.
Potato Slim.
I think the thing we could unify under is the hatred for GM.
Kind of does feel that way at this point. So many people talk so much smack about the sniper too, and I'm just like, man, I don't know. Like, there are times when they're just unstoppable. Like,
Yeah, Sniper has his niche.
all right.
He's very well in it.
Okay, so who are you and who do you play?
Yeah, so I play Ashamar. Um,
The ass
I'm rank
hammer.
11. I won the last 2 tournaments.
Noise.
So I guess I'll drop some wisdom here.
Oh.
Sazabi is broken. That character's must pick on every team.
Yeah, dude.
You can
2K.
play him on every map. This is so pre-context. This is like considering you have 6 people who play together and communicate.
Okay, so this
And
isn't
you-
solo queuing.
No.
Okay.
Oh, were you guys doing specifically solo queue?
Not necessarily. Mine was kind of like if you are just you don't know the map you're gonna play on yet, you're just picking the character to go into it. That's how I was doing mine. But no, it's you do. You're fine. We can do
Gotcha.
6-man.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, specifically to preface, this is like 6-man. You're all communicating. You don't have like a weak link. People know what they're doing.
Yep.
Tier list, right?
Okay.
So yeah, Sazabi, he has a scan which is super huge information. He has effectively 2800 HP. So if you have like, for example, like a Pale Rider that knows what they're doing, they can leverage that pretty easily. And that's basically Sazabi's job. He just gets a lot of value by existing. Second best character is probably Dom Trooper. That character has a 1200 HP is just very strong. The ult is a free push.
Shield.
The armor ability is probably one of the best in the game. Just the ability to give like any character that's diving, just a free,
Yeah, like
in some cases almost doubling their health. Specifically on Exia, who's going in S tier next.
Gotcha. But yeah, I love him for disarms. When somebody's disarming, the first thing you got to think of with Dom is to make sure that that person gets the shield on them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Dom, like when you have a really good Dom Trooper teammate and you are doing like communicating, right? Like for example, yeah, with planting's pretty easy, or diffusing, because it's a like a really instinctual armor, right? But there's like more niche things, like for example, if you know the enemy team is running an Exia and they're gonna dash, right? Your Dom Trooper can hold armor and just look for the person that the Exia dashes, and essentially negate that completely. Or the inverse, which is you armor your Exia before they dash in, and you almost double their health pool.
Yeah. It's really odd that the armor overcaps your health too. It kind of makes it like the healing in a sense that decays, healing and a poison. You can just preemptively do it if they're like, oh shit, this guy's about to take some huge damage here.
Yeah.
Specifically Sazabi too. Have him walk in and make him unkillable.
Yeah, especially for like channeled ultimates. By that I mean like you ult and then you actually have to like continue doing things.
Yeah, installs. Hades.
So for example, like Pale Rider, Unicorn, Melee Zaku, like those characters, it's really useful to armor them because they're going to get focused. Yeah, Exia has a lot of one-shot potential. They're very fast, and I think the thing that really puts them into S tier is the fact that they don't have damage drop off on their daggers, so they can effectively play at any range. Which means there isn't really a downside to playing the character. They're always going to be able to be doing something. And then they have a position that they really excel in, which is being able to just dash in and kill like a Pale Rider or something. Let's see, what probably would go after Exia. Probably Methus. Methus is ult. You basically just play him as like ult charge. His ult can just it's basically a super Dom armor. you put it on a character and then they can't die for like an entire fight, and you just heal them,
Isn't
and
it
you just put it on your DPS carry.
double damage and half damage taken, right?
I don't know the exact stats on it actually, but it's just nuts. It does a lot of things.
I can look it up right now.
And lastly, in S, probably Marasai.
Unbelievable.
It's not even necessarily just for his hook. Like the hook is nice, and he can like, get insta kills and whatnot. But the main thing is his ult has like almost zero like weakness, right? Like it doesn't put him in a significant amount of danger. It's almost instantly cast, so if the enemy team is around a corner, your Marasai can just double dash Q, and then your entire team pushes off of that, and you just wipe the enemy team for free.
Yeah, it's definitely consistent at getting multi stuns. Not like a single target by any means.
Yeah. Like in solo queue, this is totally different because you have to like Marasai stun, and then, unless your team is literally on top of them, you usually have to be the one to clean up the kills.
Yeah, so just real quick, we were talking about this before too. Like a huge thing about Marasai too is comms. You gotta be able to call out, "I'm about to pull blank," so that people can put their preemptive damage and combos on you. If people are reacting to you pulling, it's much different. So like, comms just make Marasai so good.
Yeah, of course. Especially also letting a Marasai know where someone is, right? Like that's one of the things. Like a Sazabi scan that completely changes how a Marasai plays.
Yep, sniper ult. Yep.
Yeah, sniper ult, yeah, etc. These characters you can just put them in A, but these are like map dependent, like S tiers, which is like sniper, Ashamar, and I would say turn A.
Name is Asshammer.
Yeah, Asshammer.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there we go.
You explain Turna. I can
yeah.
understand the other ones. Turna is the one where you got me. Everything's made sense to me except for Turna so far.
Yeah, so this is specifically, like at a really high level of play where everybody is super organized. Turn A has a win condition, right? Like sometimes things just aren't working, right? You need like a way to have like a significant advantage over the enemy team. In turn A ultimate,
Yep.
map dependent,
Okay.
can just win fights, right? Like think something like Harbor City, think Flak Fort, maps like that, where there's like large open air choke points where you can get a lot of value just by pressing a button and then maybe getting armored by a Dom Trooper.
So one thing I kind of wanted to
Makes
go over
sense.
too, with turn A, people get hung up on like corners and stuff a lot. If you just like jump into custom matches and practice it for a bit, you can actually fly it pretty well when you get the hang of it. Like I think turn A and missile base is even pretty stellar on that B objective. So I don't know. Yeah, turn A's ult is probably the best in the game. Can you stun him out of it?
You can stun him out of it, and I wouldn't say it's the best ult in the game, but it's definitely up there. It's like top 3. It's
good to know you can pull him out of it then.
Yeah, there you can like ass hammer punch him. You can Exia dash. That's probably the most common because Exia can get a lot of air mobility very quickly. But even then, like all you really need to, like even if you don't team wipe, you break through the choke by using this because the enemy team has to scatter or get completely wiped. And that when you have a team of really good players, that amount of space that you're making makes the fight almost unlosable. Sniper, it's kind of similar, right? On maps like Harbor City,
yeah, where he's already thriving.
He's just going to perform better than a character like Marasai or something. Just by factor of him existing. Asshammer, he's yeah, again, on the maps where you can play him, he's extremely useful. His Molotov kind of uh it's just very, very strong. I mean, I main this character, so obviously I'm somewhat biased, but I have at least something like 150 hours, and the Molotov, it when you have large amounts of communication, it allows you, it in a solo game, you can't just press a button and then expect all your teammates to do something. But when you play with 5 other people, you can throw a Molotov and you've already pre-practiced that when I say Molly, everybody knows what to do, and you just walk in and you kill the enemy team.
They use it like an armor almost.
Yeah, it's like uh it's just very effective at zoning and allowing you to push through things that, like, say, uh like other spots that Asshammer might compete with are Marasai, Sniper, Turn A, Pale Rider, kind of these like consistent DPS characters where you're just looking for someone who can output a decent amount of range damage. And then you're looking and you're comparing their utility, right? So I think the best example is like Flak Fort, like where that you have that 1 second point choke that has like a couple corners. And yeah, like a Marasai might be able to look for a hook there, but the enemy team might have a Sazabi blocking, you might just sit there for a while. Whereas Asshammer can just fly up, throw a molly, and suddenly your team is pushing through the choke, just like that. Um, but yeah, these are all the like situational S tiers where they replace characters in the S tier rank if you're on a map that fits them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
A tier, the actual A tier, which you can just slot these like slightly under or whatever.
All right, so hold on. You're gonna do real quick. I'll just. This is S plus, and then this would be A plus, and then you want A.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll work.
Underneath, because I don't want to remake the template right now.
Yeah, you can just. It doesn't have to look pretty.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So yeah, in the regular A tier, we'd have Pale Rider, and we'd have I think Unicorn, and I would probably put Zaku Melee here as well.
Any reason Unicorn's so low compared to what we think?
Yeah, so the main issue is Unicorn's his ultimate's not too great compared to Methus. Like Methus makes a really strong character like ridiculously strong, right? You nano like a
Zabi with
a
ult.
Sazabi, you nano an Exia, you nano a Pale Rider. Like you can kind of just combo it with certain ults to automatically just win team fights. It's like, yeah, if you nano Hades, that's just gonna win a fight. If you nano a Turne, that's just automatically gonna win a fight if they have ultimate. Whereas Unicorn's ult, like it can be effective and it can get kills, but it's not this like automatic press a button you win the game in an organized team. And his healing's like okay, his armor's okay. I mean his armor's pretty decent. Like you can like death ball. I don't think he's like significant. It's not that Unicorn's like bad in any way. It's just that Methus ult is just so nuts that like it's hard to justify playing Unicorn over him when you have this level of coordination.
Yeah, and like again, assuming 6-man, you're gonna like there's gonna be no issues with health back sharing. You're gonna have that in comms. Like you're gonna know this person's low. No one's gonna be swiping it, losing 100 health and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, all the time. Like if there's a valuable health pack taken, someone's saying I took left health pack or something like that.
And like you just know if you've only lost 200, hey man, don't take the 3-pack, sort of thing. We need that for when someone's about to die. Like, yeah, go on though.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's yeah. Fighting is also a lot faster. That's another thing.
People don't miss.
Yeah, people like the average amount of damage being output is significantly higher, but also with the level of coordination, right? Like two teams might be playing for picks, so then suddenly like an ass hammer throws a good Molotov and gets a kill on like a important character, or an Exia is diving, and suddenly like the fight just happens instantly, and it's over in maybe like 10-20 seconds. Um, and Unicorn his armor's useful for that, um specifically in Deathball, but unfortunately you're not always grouped up that much. And then also the passive healing becomes much less valuable when these fights don't last a significant period of time. Methus is also a bit harder to hit, and surprisingly actually deals higher DPS if you hit your shots.
Yeah, those headshots are wicked. That thing on the back of his head too is great. The little defense thing it's like part of his body, even though it's like sticking up near his head.
Yeah, his like top hat or whatever, his like cone.
Yep. So like whenever I
Yeah.
see a sniper, I usually try and turn before I run. I try not to like run through them.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. And the turret's just also a annoying, like a nuisance, right?
I
Like it's
love
just
it for
useful to have.
scouting. I love it for scouting. It's like my favorite thing to do in the game is like place it somewhere and then just have like a free eye on the sky.
For sure. Yeah. Then I think the last thing that makes Unicorn slightly worse here is his move speed.
Yeah.
When you have people who are really good, moving that slow, especially as a support, can just be like instant death. Um, but yeah, the other characters in here, Pale Rider, he would be an S tier if it weren't for the recent nerf to his ult charge, where
Yeah.
it takes longer to earn his ult. He's just Pale Rider. He's really good damage. His ult, like arguably like the best ult in the game. Um, yeah, that's that's basically Pale Rider. You play him when you know you want to just win the game with his ultimate. Melee Zaku would also be an S tier if it weren't for his recent nerfs. Uh, he's kind of more like a situational A tier, but I think it's fine. You can just have him A tier. It just requires your team to really play a Melee Zaku team. Like all the characters in like S tier and like A and whatever, for the most part, you can just like play the same and get a lot of value out of these characters. But if you have a Melee Zaku and you really want to make him work, your whole team has to be dedicated to trying to get this Melee Zaku like into the enemy team's face so he can do his thing. Otherwise, he's just gonna like be crappy and not do much.
Yeah, Method ult
The
plus Melee Zaku is always a fun one. Those ult comboed, it's like 2 swings to kill an 800, so it's just like 1-2 dead, couldn't even react.
oh yeah, it's just nuts. Especially like you nano the Melee Zaku, and it doesn't actually change the amount of rage he's getting, despite the damage getting reduced. So
Oh, that's good. It's unmitigated. That's cool. That's good to know.
yeah,
That's really good
so
to know.
you have to like you have only two bad options here, right? It's like, do I just not shoot the Melee Zaku, or do I guarantee give him rage?
Yep.
And then if you give him rage, this Melee Zaku with the nano effectively has like 2,500 HP or something ridiculous. And then you can Dom armor him or something. He just becomes unkillable.
2400, yeah.
Yeah, which I mean, this is just an example of like where Methus ult just makes something that's really really good into something that's unbeatable.
Yeah. I know that the strongest it seems to be is Methus plus Dom, and then his rockets are just fucking insane. Like he already has that instant one-on-one kill, but I don't know. That seems to be pushing people off. All right, so what's
Yeah,
next?
those are
I'm
like
interested.
the actual A tiers. These next can all go in one tier. This is like Barb, Gundam, Zaku ranged gun tank. Basically everybody but Mahiru and GM.
That is so funny. Mike was right. The one thing we agree on is that GM is trash. That's so funny. That is the one thing we all agree on.
Yeah, GM is terrible. I'll go into that later.
So one thing I will say is the double det pack is nice when like you catch someone slipping trying to squeak the disarm, but yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely useful. Like GM isn't completely bad. It's not like they have zero uses, right?
Eh.
Um,
Actually,
I
here it's the GM tier, so he gets it.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah, Mahiru can. I think Mahiru's slightly better, but they're basically in the same tier. These characters all just kind of, uh, or I'll say, apart from Barb, so like RX-78, Zaku Range, and Guntank, these three just are kind of like worse Pale Riders.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. Guntank, like he has some like uses. His ult can be pretty decent. His like quick revive is also very useful, but it's just hard to like leverage that enough to where you're like, yeah, I want to play this over having like Hades on my team. And then Zaku ranged, very similar. Like it's hard to find just this like even on the maps where he's like his best and like thermal plant or something where it's like all these indoor sharp corners and lots of like health packs for him to grab. It's hard for him to get enough value to justify having him over just something else. His magazine, like he excels in like solo queue gameplay where like yeah, you can just kind of go into a backline, like one clip or two clip somebody and then just like get a health pack and do that on repeat. But in like coordinated play, it's pretty hard for you to get a kill, especially when all that needs to happen is for the Methis to look at the person you're shooting at, or for the Dom to look at the person you're shooting at, or anyone there on their team to just look at you. And then if you die, you basically lost the game for your team, right? So you have to. It's really really high risk for a pretty low reward. Whereas you can just like play Pale Rider, probably accomplish the same thing of like getting a kill, but you can do it from like the mid line or the back line of your team, and then you also have Hades in your back pocket.
And you heal, yeah.
Yeah, and Pale Rider can heal people. RX-78, he's like fine. I compare him a lot to like Turne as well, just in similarities of like the effective range that he has. He can do things to Sazabi, but his ult is just not great.
It just gets shot. I was waiting for it. It gets shot out of the air so fast. Like if
Yeah.
anyone's paying attention, it's just like, oh, that's easy. Maher literally, it's one grenade and it's gone. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you exemplified it perfectly. Like imagine you already consider that, and you're not even playing with 5 people who
Oh, no.
are like,
Oh yeah.
we are. Who are like,
Oh, we're running 6 mans.
Okay. So like, yeah, like in you can imagine in a coordinated like, yeah, this thing's getting chucked in and it's getting deleted instantly. So
And
the only times where it's useful are where you have like a specific lineup that you plan on using.
Or like there's some corners that you can protect. You can literally throw it in the corner. I'm thinking of research in D. You go to the health pack room. I think it's usually on. Well, I can't say it's usually on C. It's you go into the health pack room. You put it in the corner. It covers most of the objective, and you literally have Sazabi stand on top of it so that they can't shoot it. It's weird little set, but you're putting in so much effort for something that's supposed to be your ult. You know, it's supposed to be easy. It's supposed to help you. Yeah.
It's a lot of work for. It's like high risk, low reward.
Yeah.
The best way to use it is to kind of. There are certain maps where it can be pretty good. I think the best use case for him is probably on Flak Fort offense overtime, where you have the 50% extra ult charge.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And let's say, and this is specifically only when you don't have enough time to earn turn A ult. So you have like a minute 30 seconds, and you're like, okay, we just have to earn this ultimate. You can just poke into the building, chuck the thing on top of it, and suddenly your team can make a good solid push and hopefully cap that.
Yeah, because then you get the extra time to like. That's really what you need is to establish on top for the extra time hold.
Yeah, exactly. Barb, he's just really. It's hard to make him work. You can play like triple melee comps, and he's all right. I think that's his like only real use in like you can't play him on defense. He's unplayable on defense. You have to play him on offense. And he's like he can dive, he can do things, but you have to like just understand. I mean, like at a really high skill level, people are just gonna either Dom's gonna look at him, or Mathis is gonna look at him, or like he's gonna dive and just get Marasai hooked, or he's gonna get Sazabi axed, or like if any singular thing happens to the Barb, he has to either run away or he dies. Sometimes he doesn't actually even get a chance to run away. He's just dying. And even if nothing happens to him, the player's probably just good enough to dash away. Which is why you kind of have to play him these like triple melee death comps where you're giving them so many targets at once that he can kind of look for a off angle to do something and be really disruptive and annoying, and that's where you get those like big multi-kill like ground slams and stuff. His ult's pretty solid. It's very like unreactable, right? Like a Barb can just kind of peek around a corner, ult, and just kill two people.
That one I find really weird. Also, I just want to highlight with his ult. For some reason, you have to aim downwards to get it to go straight. I don't know. That's just like a tip that'll help anyone trying to use Barb ult properly.
It is quite weird. Because it gives you this like weird third person perspective.
Yeah. Like
so straight isn't actually straight.
Yeah, I don't know. It threw me off at first. I was like, he just goes up, and it's like, oh no, you just gotta like have the reticule a little bit towards the ground. You can't have it being going straight relative to him. But yeah, it's interesting.
Mahiru has 800 HP.
Yeah, dude, and Sniper just eats him. That head is too big.
Yeah. I mean the character just gets deleted. Its shots are pretty inconsistent. Like you can play a Mahiru and you can like do stuff in fights and you can have this like really high like potential, but the problem is like a lot of times you have to consider a character at its worst, and at its worst Mahiru is missing a lot of shots, they're not having too much impact, and they're just getting deleted because they have 800 HP. And in like a pretty competitive field, just losing one fight is bad.
Yeah, and if that's a good one too, because you're saying a 6-man versus a 6-man. If you're playing against a 6-man and you're holding a hall with Mahiru, they're just not going to go that way. Like they're going to like either bum rush you with someone who can tank it. They're not going to make the mistakes that you can get away with, like normally.
Yeah,
feel it
exactly. Like
that being said, that scan is nice. I love fucking running straight up to their base and seeing what their team comp is, because 9 times out of 10 they don't switch. But
the scan is great. I think it's pretty good. Unfortunately, it doesn't show it to your teammates. Otherwise, he'd be actually pretty decent. But I think the most impact I've seen Mahiru have in a game so far is a Mahiru shooting around a corner, blocking a choke or whatever, and then my team's melee Zaku just sitting in the blast zone and just farming his entire thing while the Mahiru spammed, and we just had our Methus healing the melee Zaku. So we just built Rage for free. Which you can also do against GM's ultimate, right? Like GM's ultimate is so bad it just kind of gets deleted by like random character abilities like Zaku stance, Pale Rider grenade.
My favorite
Molotovs.
Is with Methus, you just fly past it and they can't catch up to you, and it's like, well, that was easy. Like, okay.
Yeah. It's such a it doesn't fit in this game. Like they really just need to give them a completely different ultimate. I don't think they can ever really tune that ult to a point where it's like good but not oppressive.
I feel
It's
like
always going to be kind of shit.
I wish that it impact exploded. I definitely remember the one time I threw it on top of a Sazabi and he shotgunned 3 of them down with 1 shot, and I just stood there like, well, that was pointless.
Yeah. They have like a an arming time.
Yep, yeah, where they fly up into the air, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think if you gave Mario 1,000 HP, he'd be more viable?
Oh, you'd 100% be more viable. I think they need to give him like, if they gave him like 1,000 HP, bumped up his ammo to like 4 or 5. 5 maybe is too much. 4 would be solid. And then, because like right now he can't kill like some characters without reloading. You like have to hit like all direct. But and then also on his like stun, the fact that it makes you stand still
Oh my
is
god,
just too
yeah.
bad.
You have to make someone be stupid enough to not see it, or like you have to put it on a Sazabi who's standing in front of it or something while you're hidden behind the corner, because they just shoot you in the face when you go for it. The dash combo, though, I will say, going like if you grenade dash and then in the air zoom in, grenade, you can clip those. Like the kill time is pretty solid. It's just like you said, you got to hit them with every single grenade. And then on top of that, you're an 800 health character who just you just walked up to everyone like, "Hey guys, I'm right here. Like, look at these explosions." Like,
Yeah, like there's a term for this in like card games where like people will evaluate things as like a like the height, like the potential, and it's like magical Christmas land. And it's like, yeah, a lot of people go like, "Oh, but I ulted as Mahiru and like killed like 18 people." This character's insane because I had that like one game happen on like Canyon Base or whatever. And it's like, sure, yeah, it's magical Christmas land where everything lines up and it happens. But in reality, the character is just kind of meh most of the time.
yeah, no, yeah, I like the concept of ceilings and floors. That's kind of where, like, that's like part of like Unicorn's value is that floor is so high, like you can't really fuck that up. You're just kind of Unicorn running around. Like you'd have to like not know that you could shield people to do bad on
Oh,
them.
for sure.
So
Yeah, like if you're a really uncoordinated team, I would not play Methus. I would just play Unicorn and just have fun.
yeah. I just mean like floor, ease of access
Yeah.
versus ceiling, like you're saying Method has a
Standing in
higher
a death
ceiling.
ball is way easier than making sure you like
Exactly.
you're in comms doing method shit.
Yeah, like I'm not sure if you're around for the other one. The other one, I think Sniper literally doesn't have a ceiling in my opinion. You can just always get better with that character. Like
Yep.
even just imagining hackers using snipers fighting each other, they're still like you got to be good, on top of all of that. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, no, I've played against cheating snipers, and we've beaten them.
Yeah, you can win. Yeah.
If you just throw 4 people at them, they're just gonna die anyway. But
Or get the Exia behind them in your case. All right. So what's your name again, by the way? I'm just saving all these lists now.
you can just say write down as sunglasses, I guess.
What was the tournament you played in?
I played in the EGL tournament, and I also played in the Halloween tournament that happened recently. I can link you them if you'd like.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, how do I
Throw-
join?
Yeah, throw them in the Discord.
Yeah, so I can. So yeah, it sounds like you guys are 6 people who want to kind of.
Oh yeah, of course. It's
Yeah,
all
so-
online, right? Unfortunately.
Yeah, it
Oh,
is all
land.
online currently. So here's the.
COVID. Sorry.
Yeah, so this is part of a basically a series of tournaments where this was the second tournament in that series. There will be I think 6 total, and then the 8 highest scoring teams will be put in a league to play for like several months starting in January, I think, or something like that. And then there's also the EGL tournament. The EGL tournaments are free to enter, but the Halloween tournament, or I guess the breakout tournaments, they're $25 entry fee per team.
Okay. Per team's not bad at all. It's expecting it per player. Nice. Yeah. Could you
I
post
wish it was per player.
Yeah, I think I found the EGL, the Mech Mayhem one.
Yeah, could you post that in the Gundam part
Yeah.
of the Discord too, just for anyone who's
Yeah.
interested in it?
Here are the two.
Nice.
The dun, 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 dun. Where's the here's the for the Halloween tournament. This is the like event tab where you'll be able to see the next ones showing up. I believe both of these of next tournaments are happening around the end of this month.
Nice.
I think so. There's like a few. The way I kind of describe it is there's like a couple, maybe like 3-4 teams that are really really strong, and then there's like a gigantic gap, and then there's like all the other teams for the most part.
People actually taking it seriously. Gotcha.
Yeah. It's also just like a case of like sure, like one team pops up and they've got like one insanely good player and 5 friends, and then a team will just kind of poach that one insane player
Gotcha. Yeah. This is everything
to play
starting
with 5 other
established.
insane players. Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah.
We're bringing 6 in.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
All right, so here I'm gonna go over mine real quick. Just want to go over a
yeah,
few
sure.
like tidbits with specific characters. Okay, so mine, I think most of ours were not necessarily like 6-man comps. Mine's more of like specifically like you're looting up the game and you're just like, I need to pick a character. Like is kind of what I'm going for here. Barbados. All right, so I would say I disagree with the other 3 things here. I think this character is insane. Specifically, if you melee into dash, into micro step, into instant slam, it still combos. It keeps them stunned long enough from the end part of the. So when he swings his first swings, he swings from right to left. If you hit them on the left half of it at the edge of the dash, you can cancel quick enough to take a micro step and do an instant slam. That's 1200 damage right there. That's enough to kill. Just it can kill gun tank. Obviously unicorn standing next to it. There's a lot of times it doesn't instant kill. You can hit him again on the ground if you want to add the 3rd piece to the combo. It takes some time out of it. But being able to sweep the dash, like you press the melee, you press dash, and you sweep it. Like almost like if you played Nickelodeon Fighters, it's like a drag down. The hitbox is theoretically bigger. And like that's kind of how you get in on people. I find it really interesting you said he's not good on defense. I think that's specifically where he thrives. You just have to be patient as fuck. And you have to like be like, I am the guy who watches the objective. That is like your whole job as Barbados. You're going to have a bad kill death ratio, but you are the best thing to stop when they pull, like when they turn a Sazabi around the corner with the 3,000 total health with the like he's the thing that can hold that motherfucker still, deal a lot of damage to it, and get out of it. I find that a bit interesting. And then is obviously you can do what a lot of people do, which is the full charge into the 1-2 slam. You get to 2,000 damage there. It takes a while, and you have to do the charge attack first, which I think is hard to hit with. I think specifically if you do the melee sweep into the combo and focus on the 1,200 damage number in your head, then it becomes easy to kill people. Specifically, too, you usually have enough time to realize, like, you do the first swing, and then you go, wait a minute, I don't want to kill this person necessarily. That guy over there is the issue. And then you can pull the second swing, dash again, since you have 3 dashes, slam, get the 1,200 kill. So I think Barbados just thrives in almost literally every situation. I think Marasai is like one of the biggest hard counter characters in the game. He can, if a person's on Marasai and you're on like a set of characters, if you're on Melee Zeku, if you're on Barbados, if you're on Unicorn's an easy one, but he's not normally that big of an issue. If he's on Dom, like he can just make your life hell the entire game. He can just pick you and ruin your so what you can do is identify, like you were saying, a lot of teams have one really good player and 5 with them. You can just identify that guy's the good player. Marasai is going to wreak havoc on him the whole game. So I think that gives him a specific spot as like a good player counter. And then he also stops Melee Zaku, who I think if he wasn't stopped by Marasai and Reggie, he would be in S tier with Barbados, where it's like he's the same thing, where he just he holds the objective so well, it's insane. Unicorn, I think, again, like he's the best character in the game. Again, if you're not in a 6v6 setting, I do agree with that. That Method's ult just skyrockets up here when you have like a squad fighting with each other. But Unicorn's, I think his main issue is just huge, and his head is right there. Like it's like everyone else, like can kind of have this screen. He's like, here's my head, guys. I'm the healer right here. You know, like
Yeah, he doesn't have any random garbage
Yep.
around it to kind of distract you.
Yep. So that kind of holds him back. Really, I think his thing is his gun is just so good. It's like a support's not supposed to have a gun that good, so that pulls him up here for me. So like as like a solo queuer, like well, even if I'm a support, I can kill you. You know, like Range Zaku is only up here. This is actually one thing I wanted to go over specifically. Range Zaku is up in A for me specifically because a third of the game types is the game type with the rally point, and he wreaks havoc on rally points. He just gets behind you, and then you have to. It's not like, oh, we can ignore him, go to the, like he's gonna take the rally point back and then collapse behind you, and it makes it so that, oh wow, we failed that plant. Now we're back to the start. Like I think that one situation alone in solo queuing throws Range Zaku like up some tiers for me. Maybe not A, but like it's just like around where I feel I play him. So again, I'm partial to him. That clip is a bit small though. Like if somebody can juke you a little bit and you don't get your headshots, it's just like, well, now it's time to run. I think Melee Zaku's self-explanatory. Rage is insane. Rage ult is insane. It's instant kills at certain characters, not literally, but basically. Sazabi, I think, is the most important character in the game. I wouldn't say like again like solo queuing. Like if you're playing Sazabi, there's gonna be games where like you're holding that point for ages, man, and your team just never shows up. You know, and it's like, well, and that's kind of like the difference with Barb and Mars. I can kill the other players while holding the point. But he's the most important character in the game because he's the tankiest. That just kind of, what did Grub call him? He's a unit. He's just a unit. He walks in, like he's coming. Pale Rider's self-explanatory. I think you touched on it. I think he has the best ult in the game. Specifically, he has the best ult in the game with Methus or Methus with turret, you know, like that concept of like, let's just go instantly kill people with Methus abuse. But he's the one actually dealing the damage, so I kind of give him more credit for it. Sniper, I literally tried to put him in the dead center because I was saying this before. It reminds me of 3-point shooting in the NBA. It can win you games, it can lose you games, and as people get better, it's going to start winning you games more than losing you games. So
For sure.
Yeah, because there's definitely like those like games where it's like it's high tier, it's clutch as hell, and then the sniper just goes 1, 2, 3, and it's like, oh wow, we just win the whole like they're staggered now too. They're not just dead. Now they have to wait for an offset so that they're together, and it's like, yeah, he has a chance. Reggie, okay, so the only reason I have him here is because of graveyards. I don't. David's Reggie is insane. I don't know. Like it's disgusting.
So many headshots.
That guy lives and breathes shooters, and his DMR is, I don't know. Like he literally pushed him up my tier list for me because I can't make shit happen. And we touched on it in Sunglasses, where it's like his ult just gets shot out of the sky. Like there are times when it doesn't even start the downward arc. Like it's like going up and it's just gone, and it's just like, okay, like, Maharu. B tier. There are just, again, this is solo queue. Like I can't put him in A tier or S tier because of this guy, honestly. Like I don't, the number of times you turn a corner and you're just dead as Maharu because a sniper shot you is just like, well, they're like it's the whole Melee Zaku and Marasai thing where if somebody can counter you that hard, it holds you back, in my opinion. Like no matter what else happens. I do think the buff to his dash cooldown timer, if you're really tricky, you can like get one. Like if you know you're better than your opponent, like I've killed this guy 4 times now, you can start like really working on him with it. But if the other player is good, like there's kill timer. There's like not literally, like there's like kill quickness of weapons that you have to adhere to. Like yeah, you're gonna die in 3 seconds, man. Like, you just gotta you have
just get
3
DPS
seconds.
checked.
Yeah, like you can't do too much in 3 seconds. Like Dom. He probably should be higher. I made this before I started testing things. That his ability to shoot the laser and drop the mines at the same time is kind of insane. That's so it's just dead. Like, okay, like so. Honestly, I'd here just crudely grab a arrow. Oh wait, I'm clicking on my. I'm an idiot. I was watching my stream instead of the actual thing. Grab this. Grab the brush. I jump him up a tier. I've changed my mind since then. Exia, yep, the damage on the dagger fall off's great. I just think that there's a lot of times that you just end up behind them and you get your 2 kills and your entire team dies on the objective, and it's like what he goes off to do often isn't very important. And then maybe it's just because I almost always play with like 3 to 4 people at bare minimum. I don't like tend to solo queue, but what I see from him is if you call out his charge, people can usually deal with it pretty well. Like if you know it's coming and you have like a Reggie ready to stun them, like a Mahu ready to dash in the face, a Barb charging his not charging his thing, right? Like priming his instant slam, which takes priority. I think there are ways to. I mean, that being said, like to your point, like the damage fall off means again, like the sniper, his ceiling doesn't exist. You can get so good with this character that you could just spawn, know an angle that shows you all the way across the map, throw those daggers, and then hit for the exact same damage. That's like your ceiling doesn't exist. You can get so good that it doesn't matter. Turn A, yeah, his ult's. I think his ult's the best ult in the game. I did not know you could stun him out of that. I would definitely say that. I don't play many characters that have that capability. Like I don't play Reggie. I don't play Marasai, and I don't really play Sazabi too much. But those would be the ones I would think that like now that I'm thinking about it, like they have to know, like, call out turn A and get those stuns ready, similar to Melee Zaku, to counter him out of it right immediately. Gun Tank, man, he honestly might even be like. The only reason he's in B tier is because it's like if you don't know what's about to happen, it's nice to have something that is like a jack of all trades. It catches a bunch of things. You can pick up your teammates. You can be kind of tanky, especially with the dash where you put your hands in front of your face and you can't get headshotted. But he has the hardest ceiling I have ever seen in a arena shooter in my life, where it's like there comes a point where you are maximum level gun tank and you cannot do better than this, and it's not that good. Like, like you're going to get one-on-one by most of the cast. Methis, I don't trust my teammates ever. Maybe this is just a testament to me, but I think if you're just jumping into the game and playing, you'll do well with Methis, and then a player who has been doing like great the whole game, you're going to ult them and they're just going to stop doing great, and it's going to be like, this was the entire investment, all 100%, man. Like what? Like even if you use voice comms and stuff, people kind of crumble. GM is the worst character in the game. I will say there are 2 things that like give her 3 things, I should say, that give her like some sort of buff. The double det pack. If you throw a det pack, wait for the cooldown, you can pop the one det pack, drop the second det pack, drop the second pack, so they can like overlap in damage, like and do really quick damage. Kind of nice. She counters ranged Zaku, which again, he's not too much of an issue unless it's that game type that has the waypoint, the respawn point. So like in that game type, you would just send a GM to go push him off the point. That's kind of nice. And the ult, when the ult is protected, it works. Like it just never works well. But like, hey, you can kill people with it. like it is technically something in her hat.
It will get kills.
The push is kind of nice against occasionally against Barbados.
It is one of the very few abilities that makes you CC immune.
Yep, similar to Barb Slam. And then with the CC immune things too, it's like you always want yours to apply second. If they're the same amount of time, you want to go second, more or less. So that's a Barb v Barb fight. You want to, if you are that cracked fighting game reaction time, you can see him do his, you do yours in reaction, you just won the whole fight. Boom, bada bang.
Yep.
Ass Hammer, all right. Again, like, I get your point where it's like if you have and this is like to John's point too, specifically Harbor, man, he just runs in the back and he steals all your health packs, and it's like, oh my god, we can't heal. They came in the front, we're dead. Like he has situations where he is unquestionably like nothing else is as good as him in this situation, especially with the 1,000 health compared to Methis' 200 health. But I just think that, like, I don't know, here's my conversation I was having before, is the health packs are on the ground, and if you can shoot him and race him to the nearest health pack, you always get there first. So, like, I don't know, man. I think that, I don't know. I think that it's a good character because of the firebomb. Like, sorry, I should have started there. Is the obvious, like, Donnie was talking about this, too. The crux of the main thing when you're fighting a good Ashimir who is destroying you is he's using that firebomb very smartly. But I think once that's gone, he becomes in gun tank category where it's like, sure, you can hit your headshots and all that, but you kind of just get devoured by the good characters. Like a Pill Rider's just gonna annihilate you. Your head is so big, like that weird.
Mhm.
Oh, it's like the elites from frickin' Halo, except for they stretch all the way to the top of the back. Like,
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I don't know. I guess maybe too, like for solo queues, it is a bit better because you can kind of just do your own thing. So it probably is just GM in his own tier down here.
I need to go to bed soon.
Yeah. Well,
Super
GG's
tired.
everyone. This is
But
good. This is a good tier list recapping. I'm gonna stop the recording here. Thanks again, Sunglasses. Thanks again, everybody who helped with this. Sage, who left already. Mango, I'm not sure if you're still here. Mike, appreciate y'all. All right, GG's.